Hey, I'm CARBO Brother, I'm Chris Nelson. Really excited to introduce the Glock 19 textured rubber adhesive grips for your Glock pistols. Just makes sense. A very straightforward, simple way to increase your performance and your accuracy. You gotta have a good grip. It's one of the primary shooting fundamentals. If you're gonna put accurate rounds down range every time, you've gotta have that solid, stable grip. So we all start there. Now, it does come with some of that little textured grip on the frame from the factory, but it's not quite the same thing. It doesn't replace that rubber grippy feel you get from a rubber grip. Love these adhesive rubber grips. We've got the best proprietary material on the market. Does a phenomenal job. We also have that 50% replacement guarantee. So if you screwed up on the installation, wear them out 6 years from now, send it back to us, you get another one half off for life. It's easy. So really excited about these. I'm looking forward to everybody's feedback on them. I love them. We're putting them on everything. Just makes sense. It's a great way to quickly improve that performance, that accuracy, and get the most you can out of your pistol. Let's go on tabletop, show you how to put this thing on. All right, I'm going to quickly cover how to install the grips on the Gen 4 Glock 19 and how to install them on the Gen 5 Glock 19. In this installation, you're going to need the grips either for the Gen 4, which also works with the Gen 3, or the Gen 5 for your Glock 19. The only tool you're going to need is a heat gun or a hair dryer. If you don't have a heat gun, go ahead and use that hair dryer. It's the best way to do it. Simple, easy, no risk of burning it or anything like that. All right, now we'll just quickly jump into it. Just check our firearms together since we got this opportunity. Chamber, bolt face, magazine well, clear. All right, now we can go ahead and start with step one, which is going to be making sure you got everything and then making sure you got the right grip that is made for your generation Glock 19. So you can see here's the backstrap webbing. These are the frame index points, so that's nice. And then we've also got the main grip, and you've got these little pieces here that you can just pop out. It's a little extra grip if you want to add that somewhere, but otherwise it's just trash. Really cool how we did this for the Gen 4, just like that. Isn't that perfect? So it fits and wraps really nicely. So that's all. We're just checking to make sure we got the right one. We did. All right, let's check our Gen 5. Don't mix them up if you're going to do them both at the same time. Pretty easy to tell apart though. Gen 5 doesn't have any of those index features on the frame, so it's smooth grip, alcohol wipe. You've got the backstrap webbing and your frame index grips. We'll check the main grip here. You've even got a little cutout there for the Glock logo, which is cool. All right. It's kind of a general QC check here. All right, perfect. So we'll start with the Gen 4. We'll get into the Gen 5 next. Take your alcohol wipe, and we're just going to clean the pistol grip really well. Even if it's a brand new pistol, there's still going to be some grease, grime on there. You know, they assemble them at the factory. They're not washing their hands between guns. They're test firing these, so it's just bound to happen. You want to get every little bit of oil, grease, even finger oil. So if you've got greasy mitts, go ahead and wash your hands. It's a good idea. You don't want to ruin the adhesive before you get it on this frame. So we want a nice, clean surface. We want it to be dry as well. Get that backstrap area. The bottom edges down here. Finger grooves. All right, then we can heat it up with the heat gun. We got to do that anyway. It's also going to help dry it out a little bit. So we start with a little heat on the grip. Gives us a little base. We want it to be 130 degrees. You know, temperature of a hot cup of coffee. So we want a good starting point. It's got to be dry, it's got to be warm. All right, let's just check and make sure it's good and warm. All right, it's a good start. Take our grip, peel it off here. Try to touch just the center of the grip. You touch the edges, it'll wear out. We don't want that before we get it on here. So what we're going to do is lay it over the finger grooves first. That's going to get us in the ballpark much quicker. And you're just going to kind of tack it down. You're not really pressing it just yet. We want to make sure that obviously the mag release has got good clearance all the way around it. We don't want it interfering with the function of the pistol. Same with the other side. You don't want to cover this portion of the mag release because it won't work. So we're making sure that we've got good clearance everywhere, first and foremost. And then we're checking for any air bubbles. See, we want to make sure we tack it down evenly. Not quite pressing it yet. We're just sort of getting our alignment. Okay. Still tacking it down, not really completely compressing it. That way there, if you get it in the wrong spot, you can easily remove it without ruining the adhesive. Now this adhesive is heat activated, and that's the reason why we started with a warm base. You know, having this warmed up grip really helps get it going. You can see it's already contouring the grip really nicely, which is really one of the awesome things about these rubber textured adhesive grips. Now we're going to heat it up really good. We're going to do this 3 times, so going to get it nice and warm. Keep that heat gun or hair dryer moving. You don't want to melt it. Be careful too not to overheat it, especially if you got the heat gun. You know, we're just shooting for 130 degrees here, about the temperature of a hot cup of coffee, so we're not trying to melt it. If it gets too hot, that adhesive will really get sticky down there, and then the grip will start to slide. All right, so now it's good and warm. Oh yeah. And we're just kind of pressing it down. Not really gripping it yet, just going along it. You should start to see some of those features showing through the grip, which is really cool. I like how you basically maintain a lot of that textured grip feel that's even under the rubber. Another round of heat. Should be nice and warm to the touch there, like that hot cup of coffee, and we're really pressing down, making sure we get that good adhesion. You know, this is custom, proprietary material and adhesive. Really pumped about this, that we were able to generate something like this. I mean, it's really cool how well it works on these polymer frames. All right, look at that, already starting to really show a lot of that detail. Heat it up, and then grip it one last time, and we're good to go. All right, grip it really good. Try not to ratchet on the grip. You don't want it to slide. You really want to press straight down. Oh yeah. It's really cool how it just more or less molds itself right to that frame. But the good thing is, unlike stippling, you could remove this if you wanted to, and it wouldn't damage your frame. So that's really cool. Nice to have that option. All right, now we're gonna do the backstrap webbing. So it's gonna go on just like this, real simple. So we'll peel it off, stick it on, heat it, grip it, and away we go. Really simple, fast installation. Try not to touch the edges too much. Line it up right where you want it. Line it up high in that back strap where the webbing of your hand is going to be. Center it up. And when you're happy with it, we can heat it up. Perfect. All right, press it on good, and then we're going to give it some heat. Another round of heat. It's not a lot of material, so you don't need to go crazy with it. It already feels like it's bonded really well. So I'm gonna leave it at that. It's pretty hot too. So I'm gonna leave it alone. That is really good, solid. Oh man, feels nice. All right, so now we're gonna do the index points. So just see where your fingers are naturally. All right, I'm gonna do them on both sides. So I'm gonna place them right here. All right, I got one, last one over here. So check real quick, kind of eyeball the spacing so it looks relatively even. All right, heat them up, grip them down, and we'll be done. We moved on to Gen 5. All right. Make sure you get those edges really good. All right, good. That's it for the Gen 4. And this will work for the Gen 4 and the Gen 3. Really excited about these. Plenty of good grip, man. This is night and day difference. This is exactly how it should feel right here. Awesome. Love having that textured rubber feel. Hard polymer does not have any rubber material to it. Doesn't have that grippiness. Some guys take a little heat and they'll make a little bunch of stippling pin marks, but that's a permanent mod. This is a great mod here that can be changed if you change your mind down the road, or if you decide to sell it, it'd be better to not have the frame all stippled up. Really love this. And a lot of that grippy texture shows through. You can see from factory grip texture is actually protruding through a little bit. You can feel it when you're holding it, which is phenomenal. So I'm gonna jump over to the Gen 5 now. Real simple, same process. See if I can do it a little faster here. All right, we got it all clean with the alcohol wipe. Now we're gonna dry it and get that preliminary set of heat on there. "130 degrees, hot cup of coffee is the goal. Should feel about the same. All right, we got the preliminary amount of heat on there. Now we're gonna peel the grip, backing off. Try not to touch the edges. Same deal, we're gonna center it up first. These V notches, you're gonna center up on the grip. Also try to make sure you've got this amount of space in here. Basically, it's just covering all those little tiny textured squares there on the grip. And we're tacking it down and we're gonna wrap it around. We're focused on this side first. Make sure we get the Glock logo in that little window cutout. All right, still not completely pressing as hard as I can yet because I want to make sure it's lined up exactly how I like it. All right, and then you want to make sure this line back here contours really well. All right, and now this side I'm looking at the magazine release. You can see that this is slightly covering it, so I'm going to peel it up just a hair. There we go. So you can see how quickly that can change with how you pull it. So if you put it on incorrectly, you could easily cover some of the functional features. We don't want to do that. So just a simple modification, and I was able to get it right. But you can see, there you go. Have to make sure everything else is tacked down good. All right, window, function, perfect. So the magazine release functions both sides. All right, so now we're just tacking it down a little better, making sure there's no air bubbles, especially in this little divot right here. You want to more or less push it one direction to ensure there's no air bubbles down there. All right, making sure we got this edge lined up good. Good, now we can start gripping it down. Just pushing straight down first, don't really grip it per se. Just want to make sure we get it completely pressed on. Now we're going to give it some heat, and then we'll grip it. All right, we got our heat on there. Press down first, and then we're going to grip. I'm just going kind of inch by inch, making sure we get every little piece of it pressed down onto the polymer frame. No air bubbles, no misalignment. We're checking it all. Now we're going to give it some nice grip. Nice. That feels good. Man, I'm a Gen 4 fan, so for me, if I was running the Gen 5, this would definitely be crucial, considering they don't have those little finger grooves here on the Gen 5. But it's all up to what your preference is. A lot of guys like the Gen 5. I mean, I do too. I would shoot it definitely like this. Get the edges real good. All right, we're gonna grip it again. Oh yeah, nice and warm. Make sure it's warm, not scorching hot. If it's too hot to touch, then definitely too much heat. Make sure you get along the edges really good, all the way around. If it's gonna start peeling, that's where it's gonna start. So we've got a 50% lifetime replacement guarantee. So if you wear them out or you just screw them up on the install, you just send them back to us, and it's half the price of the retail cost. So whatever you paid initially, you're gonna pay half that to get a replacement. So it's a pretty good deal, especially you wear these out, you know, 6 years from now, they're all ratty looking, you want a replacement. It's super simple, man. You just send them back. You pay half of what you paid initially, and you got another set. That easy. All right, so third time's a charm there. Nice and hot. That's where you can do all your finishing detail. Make sure everything has been pressed on really well. And when we're done, we're gonna let it cool for about 20, 30 minutes before we do anything else with it. Get all these edges good. Make sure there's nothing exposed. You don't want anything just flapping. All right, cool. Now we're gonna do the back strap. So we're gonna get a little heat on there. And this little back strap webbing piece is gonna go right here, just like that. Little arrow pointing down. So peel it off. Center it up, high on that back strap there. It's designed for the webbing of your hand. Get it where you want it, press it down, and then give it some heat. And we're gonna make sure it's really on there. And once you heat it up, you know, if it's not completely centered, like you're super OCD and you want it centered, you can when the adhesive is hot, you can move it. So that's why I also said don't really ratchet on that grip. So if it's just a hair off, you can slightly adjust it once it's hot. So you don't need to take it off. I would not take it off. You don't want to ruin the adhesive. That would ruin it. Taking it off too many times. You get away with it once or twice, but man, that is solid. All right, good. One more round of heat here. These smaller pieces don't really require a ton of heat, and they react pretty quickly. Oh man, that is perfect. Feels awesome right there in the web of your hand. just enough grip, help you get that vertical grip. You got plenty of left and right here, now you're vertically stable. Now we're gonna do these little index points. A little heat on there. Peel it off. Heat it up. And then you can align it however you like. You know, if you need to make a small adjustment once it's hot. You know, that adhesive, just like glue more or less. Heat activated adhesive. Really the strongest stuff you can get. That's awesome, especially for these polymer frames. Peeling it off, we're gonna throw a little heat on there and stick this baby on. I think I was faster on this round. Once you do your first one, man, you're gonna be basically a pro at this. All your buddies are gonna be asking you to do it for them. You won't need the video anymore. That looks good. All right, one more round of heat, man, then we're done. Really simple. Perfect. Oh yeah, dude, this is nice. Perfect. You got good grip and all the touch points, man. This is really nice. Really a heck of a difference. Really fast and simple and easy. I love this. Oh, dude, that is so much better. So much easier to manipulate that pistol now. Having that grip, your fingers, your hands aren't all slipping around. Hard polymer is not grippy, no matter how much texturing you put on it. It just doesn't do the same thing as that rubber texture adhesive does. That feels good. Well, there you have it, guys. A great way to take your Glock 19s to the next level. Really love how much textured rubber we've got on these things. I mean, we've got them everywhere. We've got them on the sides, the fronts, the back strap, even the index points on the frame. Really straightforward, simple installation, as you saw. You can't screw it up, but if you do, you got the 50% replacement. It's easy, simple. You send it back to us, we give you another one, 50% of what you paid for it. Really love it. Gen 4, Gen 3, Gen 5, you name it, man. It's gonna work for it in your Glock 19. Really excited about this. I hope you guys love them. It's gonna give you a lot more grip, a much more stable, solid position when you're shooting, not gonna be slipping. This textured rubber really does a number, giving you that grippiness you need when you're shooting. Especially if you've been shooting a while, your hands are getting slippery, you got a little oil in your hands, or you're outdoors, you got a little dirt in your hands. It's gonna happen. So it's a great way to help combat that slippage. Make sure you've got good, solid, stable shooting position round after round, and you're not losing a little bit of accuracy from some silly stuff as sweaty hands. Really making sure you get the most accuracy and performance out of your Glock 19. Simple, easy installation, love it. Hoping you guys do too. Thank you, MCARBO brother, for your ideas and your support. As always, happy shooting.